Most people believe that fruit plants need intense, all-day sunlight to grow and produce anything worthwhile. Because of that belief, many gardeners look at their shaded yards, balconies, or garden corners and assume fruit growing is impossible. But that idea couldn't be further from the truth. Nature itself proves otherwise. Many fruits evolved under forest canopies, along hedges, and beside taller trees where sunlight is filtered, softened, and limited. And these fruits don't just survive in shade, they thrive in it. Welcome back to Daily Plant Life, where we show you how to grow real food no matter how much space or sunlight you have. Today, you're going to learn about 7 shade-loving fruits you should plant today. Fruits that don't need harsh sunlight, don't struggle in partial shade, and still reward you with beautiful harvests. If your garden only gets a few hours of sun, or if tall buildings, trees, or walls block the light, this video is for you. Let's begin with a fruit that surprises almost everyone. The first shade-loving fruit you should plant is strawberries. Strawberries are often labeled as full-sun plants, but that description is misleading. While strawberries can grow in full sun, they frequently grow better with some shade, especially in warm or hot climates. Intense sunlight can stress strawberry plants, overheat the soil, and cause rapid moisture loss. This stress often leads to smaller fruits, shorter harvest periods, and weaker plants. In partial shade, especially areas that receive gentle morning sun and afternoon shade, strawberries remain cooler and more comfortable. Their shallow roots benefit from soil that stays moist longer, and their leaves avoid sunburn and heat damage. This creates a more stable environment for flowering and fruit development. Many gardeners notice that strawberries grown in light shade produce sweeter fruits and continue fruiting longer into the season compared to those grown in full, harsh sun. Strawberries are naturally low-growing plants that spread outward rather than upward. This makes them ideal for shaded garden beds, under taller plants, near fences, or on balconies where direct sunlight is limited. As long as they receive about 4 to 6 hours of light, even filtered light, strawberries will flower, produce fruit, and send out runners. In shaded conditions, these runners often root more successfully because the soil stays cooler and moist. If you've struggled with strawberries drying out, producing poorly, or burning in the sun, planting them in partial shade may be the breakthrough you've been looking for. The second fruit that thrives in shade is blackberries. In nature, blackberries are not open-field plants. They are woodland edge survivors. You'll often find wild blackberries growing along forest borders, hedgerows, and paths where sunlight filters through trees rather than beating down directly. This natural growth habit makes blackberries incredibly adaptable to partial shade. When blackberries grow in shaded or semi-shaded environments, they often develop stronger, more resilient canes, instead of growing overly fast and leafy, which happens in intense sun. Shaded blackberry plants focus on balanced growth. This balance supports better flowering and more reliable fruit development. Shade also helps protect blackberry plants from extreme heat, which can cause wilting, scorched leaves, or dried-out berries. Another benefit of shade is moisture retention. Blackberry roots appreciate consistently moist soil, and shaded conditions prevent rapid evaporation. This is especially helpful for gardeners growing blackberries along fences, walls, or beneath taller trees where direct sun is limited but light is still present. As long as blackberries receive some bright indirect light or a few hours of direct sun each day, they will produce clusters of juicy, flavorful berries season after season. The third shade-loving fruit you should plant is raspberries. Like blackberries, raspberries evolved in woodland environments and tolerate shade extremely well. In fact, raspberries often struggle more in extreme heat than in low-light conditions. Partial shade helps raspberries maintain steady growth without stress, especially in regions with strong sunlight or high temperatures. Raspberries grown in light shade tend to develop healthier canes and more consistent moisture levels in the soil. While they may produce slightly fewer berries at once compared to full-sun plants, the fruits are often larger, softer, and richer in flavor. Shade also reduces the risk of leaf scorch, cane dehydration, and premature fruit drop. Raspberries are particularly well suited for gardens with dappled light, areas where sunlight moves throughout the day rather than hitting one spot constantly. They also perform well along shaded fences or garden borders. With proper watering and airflow, raspberries will return year after year, making them one of the most reliable, shade-tolerant fruit plants you can grow. The fourth fruit that truly loves shade is gooseberries. Gooseberries are classic woodland fruits that often perform better in partial shade than in full sun. In hot or sunny locations, gooseberry plants can become stressed, and their fruits may suffer from sunburn. Shade protects both the plant and the fruit, allowing gooseberries to develop slowly and evenly. Gooseberry bushes are compact and naturally adapted to cooler, shaded environments. They thrive under trees, along the north side of buildings, or in areas that receive gentle, indirect light. Shade keeps their soil cooler, reduces water loss, and helps the plants maintain healthy foliage throughout the growing season. In shaded conditions, gooseberries produce plump, flavorful fruits with excellent texture and taste. For gardeners with limited sunlight, gooseberries are one of the safest fruit choices you can make. They don't demand attention, they don't suffer in shade, and they reward patience with dependable harvests year after year. The fifth shade-loving fruit you should plant today is currants. Currants are true shade specialists. In the wild, they grow beneath trees and along forest edges where sunlight is broken and indirect. Unlike many fruit plants that struggle without full sun, currants remain productive and healthy in partial to full shade. Currant bushes appreciate cooler soil temperatures and consistent moisture, both of which shade provides naturally. When planted in full sun, especially in warm climates, currants can become stressed and produce smaller fruits. In shaded areas, however, they grow steadily, develop dense foliage, and produce clusters of vibrant red, black, or white berries. These berries ripen slowly, which improves their flavor and texture. Currants are also compact plants, making them excellent for small shaded spaces. They work beautifully along fences, beneath trees, or in containers placed where sunlight is limited. With minimal care, currants can produce for many years, proving that shade can be a powerful ally in fruit gardening. The sixth fruit that performs exceptionally well in shade is elderberries. Elderberry plants naturally grow in woodland areas, riverbanks, and forest clearings where sunlight is inconsistent. This makes them highly adaptable to partial shade. While elderberries can tolerate sun, they do not require it to produce fruit. In shaded conditions, elderberry plants focus on healthy, steady growth. Shade helps keep the soil moist, which elderberries love, and prevents stress caused by excessive heat. These plants grow into shrubs or small trees, making them perfect for larger shaded areas or as background plants in a garden. Elderberries are valued not just for their fruit, but also for their resilience. They tolerate different soil conditions, recover quickly from pruning, and produce heavy clusters of berries once established. In shaded gardens, elderberries often experience fewer problems with drought and leaf damage, leading to healthier plants and better long-term production. The seventh and final shade-tolerant fruit you should consider planting is figs, particularly shade-tolerant or hardy varieties. While figs are often associated with sunny Mediterranean climates, many fig varieties adapt surprisingly well to partial shade, especially in hot regions where intense sunlight can actually stress the plant. In light shade, fig trees grow more slowly and steadily, which helps them develop strong root systems and healthier branches. Shade can protect fig leaves from scorching and reduce moisture loss from the soil. While fruit production may be slightly slower in deep shade, fig trees in partial shade still produce sweet, flavorful figs when given consistent care. Figs are especially useful in urban gardens where sunlight is blocked by buildings or walls. When planted near reflective surfaces or areas with bright indirect light, fig trees can thrive without needing full sun. Over time, a well-established fig tree in partial shade can produce reliable harvests year after year. What all these fruits have in common is their natural adaptation to gentler light. Shade creates cooler temperatures, reduces water stress, and protects plants from extreme conditions. Instead of fighting shade, successful gardeners learn to work with it. By choosing fruits that naturally thrive in low-light environments, you turn shaded spaces into productive growing areas. Fruit gardening is not about forcing plants into conditions they don't like. It's about matching the right plant to the right environment. When you do that, plants grow healthier, produce better fruit, and require less effort to maintain. If you've ever thought shade meant you couldn't grow fruit, I hope this video has completely changed that mindset. With the right plants, shaded spaces can be just as productive, sometimes even more productive than sunny ones. Strawberries, berries, currants, elderberries, and figs all prove that you don't need full sun to grow real food. If you found this guide helpful, make sure you like the video, subscribe to Daily Plant Life, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos that help you grow smarter, not harder. Let me know in the comments which shaded fruit you're planting first. And as always, happy growing. May your garden thrive, even in the shade.